Okay, cool. That was bringing back, Andrew's project was bringing back sort of hideous memories of GCSE Latin, sort of making me shudder a little bit. Yeah, my name's Catherine. I work in the Enterprise Centre for Creative Arts. Can I just ask, how many of you are aware of the Enterprise Centre before I start? Okay, this is quite positive. Excellent. Okay, you're obviously all quite enterprising students. The Enterprise Centre for Creative Arts is a university-wide project. Our kind of central hub is based here, but we've also got a department over at St Martin's, and we're shortly to have another department over at Davis Street next to the Careers Centre. Today I'm going to kind of talk briefly about the services we offer, so you've kind of got an understanding of how we could possibly fit into your futures. And also talk through briefly a case study of a new media company that came to see us and how we helped them. And also just leave you with a few things to think about if you're thinking of either freelancing or starting your own business, okay? And then if you've got any questions as I kind of go through, just ask, because actually, unfortunately, I have to shoot off at the end of my thing, but I'll leave you with my email address. Okay, so first of all, what the Enterprise Centre is an advice service for students and graduates of the university who are setting up their own creative businesses or freelancing in the creative industries. So that could be you on your own as an individual freelancer, or it could be you and some other people who are either graduates of the university or who perhaps have absolutely nothing to do with the university at all. So don't just think, if you're working with other people, you can't see the Enterprise Centre, because you can. We see lots of students, we see graduates, and we also see people who've got nothing to do with the university at all. We are basically a one-to-one business advice service, and we have a range of different business advisors that have all got different backgrounds in sort of different disciplines. My background's actually in new media as well. I used to work in e-learning for quite a long time. When you're sort of starting out your own business, when you're freelancing, there's quite a lot of confusion to start off with when I see people about what they can and can't do legally. It's perfectly acceptable to be a student, to have a job, as in a part-time job or a full-time job where you're working for someone and getting paid through their company. You're an employee, and you can be freelancing or running your own business. Any kind of combination of those three things is acceptable. And people often get kind of confused about, am I going to get double taxed if I've got a job and then I'm freelancing and all of that kind of thing. The answer is, it depends on what combination you're doing. So come and talk to us about that and we can explain it all. But when you start out running your own business, it's actually quite common for people to have part-time work, because you know where the money's coming from when you're working for someone else. Whereas when you're doing your own thing, actually where the money's coming from, as I'm sure Anya or Andrew will tell you, is a kind of a lot more of a sort of nebulous, less tangible kind of route to getting money. So we can help you in any kind of stage of that, whether you're sort of just thinking about it, whether you're in the early days of doing it, or whether you're a more established business. You can come and talk to someone about it. It's all free, I should point out at this point, even if you're kind of 3 years out of university. As long as you're based in London, if you're living or working in London and your address is kind of in London, we will see you at any point, okay? So the kind of things that people come in to talk to us about are kind of here, really. Tax and self-assessment, so how to kind of do your bookkeeping, how to do your accounts, that kind of thing. We have an accountancy service where we have an accountant come in as a business advisor, and he'll help you do your stuff for free. When you're starting a business, actually saving all the money you can where you can is really, really important. So that's kind of the first thing. We also have a really great tax man who actually speaks English, which is quite amazing. He can kind of explain tax in the most kind of simple way and really help you kind of understand how to do your tax returns, which is really important. We can also help you with planning, so planning your strategy for your business, where you want to, the things you have to do immediately, where you want to be next year, where you want to be in 5 years' time, etc. That's a really, really important thing, and I'll come back to that. If you're applying for funding for a particular creative project, or maybe it's startup funding to help you buy equipment to set up your business, or whatever it might be for a particular artistic project, you're applying to the Arts Council, for example, or you're just interested in the kind of funds you might be eligible to apply to, we can help you do those applications. And we've actually got a funding specialist who's sat on lots of grant-making bodies and is really good at kind of sussing out what people are looking for when they're looking through your applications. We can help you think about where your clients are going to be coming from, how you can make more clients and therefore make more money, how you can market your services, how you can promote your services to perhaps new audiences. And also coming back to the financial thing, which is always kind of looming over you. Coming back to something I think Andrew said about, you know, when you're running your own business, it's not just about the creative ideas. I think everyone that works for Eka would agree with that. You need to have talent, you need to have creative talent, but you also need to be a very kind of independent, autonomous person, the sort of person who can juggle things, be quite flexible, be a people person, as I think Anya was saying. And you need to be able to kind of understand that you're going to be doing a lot of stuff that is not just the creative side of it. If you're on your own, you are going to be doing the pitches, you are going to be doing the accounts, you are going to be doing the creative stuff as well, which is fantastic, but there's going to be all this other stuff. And so before you kind of make that decision, you need to really think through, do I really want to do all of this? Maybe you want to get some work experience in an agency or something first. But it's just all stuff for you to think about. They're all options. Okay, so that was the kind of one-to-one advice service. We can talk to you about anything, you know, even if you just want a sounding board for, you know, you've got to pitch to a new client next week and you want someone to kind of pitch to kind of practice, we can help you do that. You know, there's all sorts of things. So as long as it's to do with the kind of business side, then feel free. Other stuff that we do is we have events programs. We run, if you are thinking of starting a business and you want to know more about the bookkeeping and tax side of it, we regularly run a seminar, which I think happens kind of twice a term, which is called Start Me Up. And it's a tax guy and an accountant and a business planner coming to talk about those three things. It's just a 2-hour session, but you kind of learn all of the basics, all of the things you really need to know when you're starting out. The next one's on the 11th of July. I think it's in here. You need to book a place online at our website. I'll give you the URL in a bit if you're interested in coming to that. You're very welcome. We also run networking events and talks by either inspirational kind of leaders in their field, creative-wise, or more pragmatic things to do with running your own business. Our next events programme is called Graduate Week. You might have seen the posters up around college. I've just handed some postcards out as well. Do have a look at the programme on that URL because we've put together, well, I think we put together quite a good programme of different kind of workshops and stuff. And if you're thinking about applying for funding, anything like that, then there's loads of really good stuff going on that you can just kind of come along. Again, you need to book a place on those events because they're going to be pretty popular. I should point out, if you are thinking of starting a business, the university, this is hot off the press, the university has just launched a new fund for students and graduates of the university who are starting creative businesses. It's called the Proof of Concept Fund, and it's up to £5,000 which you can kind of pitch for. To sort of start your business and kind of get through the kind of planning stage of your business. And then there's also an even bigger fund called the Investment Fund, which is up to £25,000, which once you've done the first stage, you can then apply to get that £25,000 worth of funding for your first year in business. Okay, so that's kind of the people who are running that project are going to be doing a talk about it on funding at Graduate Week. So if you're interested in that, you're thinking about starting up, then do come along because it's be quite good to get in there first, I think. And we also run kind of workshops on tax and stuff like that. So we do events, we do the one-to-one advice, and we also have a monthly e-newsletter. Because we're very networked in the creative industries, we have loads, we're always finding out about new funds, new grants, new studio spaces. And what we do is we sort of distill that all into our Eka e-newsletter. So you can sign up to that via our website and we'll just email you every month with all the stuff that we're kind of finding out about in a digest, which could be quite helpful.